All right, so now we're going to pick up this idea with the Kimura. It goes a lot of different positions, different places, while I retain that lock on the arm. And as I said earlier off camera, there are a lot of things you can do in cross training to develop the attributes, the grip and the wrenching power to make this a very authoritative lock. Even if you're not as big as your opponent, and even if you're not otherwise aggregately as strong as him, you can be stronger than them here because you got the arm in a compromised position, and if you develop the attributes, you can really hold in place. So from here, what has happened is I'm fighting for this Kimura. We're going to recap some of what we did before. He grabs on and he's strong, and so I come up to here, and you know sometimes I can't keep him down on his back and get it this way. He'll turn on his side, and I'm trying to wrench it free, but this is a problem because he might get up. The good thing is if he does get up, I can use this to roll him right back and get him again. But I'm still not getting out. I'm not getting the arm out, that is. All right? And so what I do is I let his head up, right? I can come across. I'm still hugging him tight. His back is cemented to my chest. I'm pulling hard. I step this leg over. My other leg is kneeling, and I'm going to windshield wiper this foot toward him so that I can sit straight back. And one thing that came up with people, somebody asked me about this, like, yes, you can at this point, if you wanted to catch his head and still get this lock, you can, but you're sort of giving up on the finish of the arm to get better control of his head and to hug his back to your chest that much better. So this is a better hug than this. You can feel it because now his back is shifted off of my chest somewhat. But of course, you might be here and then just pull him in, and that means as soon as you pull him back, you're already choking him. So if you want a quicker transition to the choke, and if you feel you can afford to give up that grip on the arm to do it, then it means as soon as you fall back to the choke, hooks go in, the choke is in, it's all coming together at once, all right? And that's pretty good. That's a very good way to do it. But let's say that I've got a tiger by the tail, and I don't feel like I can let go of that to even catch the head. So I keep this here, I set this in, and I set this one in, and now I do two things. This hand goes to the wrist as this one catches the head. I might go back to gripping, or I might go here, all right, in anticipation of setting up the choke. Got the wrist, snaking the arm under, and then pull it out and finish my choke. But here's what happens instead. As soon as I went back to this, he already had it in his mind to turn his hips again. I don't have my hooks quite in, and he turns into me like that, right? And so if he does that, then I can still use this and step over and get the arm. That's if he turned that way. If in the course of doing this, he's sliding off this way, and he turns into me. Yep, come right up if you can. Then I'm already, you're over here. And that means we're not going to go inverted. I can step this over and take him this way. And then I still got this, and then I can follow up. So it could go either way. I could go inverted or face up to the arm lock based on what he does, because I'm not controlling his hips. Not directly. Indirectly, I'm controlling shoulders, which does influence hips. But if he's flexible and wiry and he turns his hips and comes up, people do that. That means I'm ready to flow, move my hips out, step over his head, and that means I can separate that arm from his upper body and get the arm lock. Like I said, either face up or face down. So I'll show this again right at the back mount point. So when I'm here, I first set this in. Sometimes as soon as I'm here, trying to get this hook in, he's already sliding out of that one, and he turns into me, yeah. And so now I flow with it. I move my hips, step my leg over, then my grip changes from wrist and wrist to bicep and wrist here. Or just hooking this way and sliding my shoulder. You can just hook it, put your hand on your shoulder. That's a pretty secure hook as well. That's at the wrist. All right.